Teen-Just. It's my young adult show about Jesus being a teenager.
Why don't you call it Teen Jesus?
Teen-Just. Teen and Jesus mixed.
There's plenty of outrageous, like, full frontal moments that you've seen. I remember just, you know, in the days when they're like, oh, you need to be here at this time or whatever, I remember getting the email being like, what water sports do you do? And what are you comfortable with? And I remember being like, this is gonna be awesome. Like, you know, it's just the stuff outside of the box. I don't think that that's as crazy for you to watch, but maybe in Walton's case it was.
Yeah.
But, you know.
My bar for what's outrageous is also very skewed. It takes a lot to shock me.
Yeah.
So I'll look at stuff like, there's just a bunch of, we're hanging dong a bunch. No big deal.
No
Who cares?
biggie. Yeah.
Well, season 1, when I save you from like
I was just gonna say,
when you were turning into the baby and you were like covered in what I'm assuming is
and my dick is out in the red latex suit. And just to get into that red latex suit, we had costumers rubbing me down with personal lubricant just to get into that latex suit.
And also, we shot in like an old power plant, and it was like everything was rusty, and they're like, do not wander off.
Yes.
You might fall through the floor. Like, we only have like this section.
Yeah, like asbestos pipes were like caution taped.
Yeah. It was gnarly, dude.
I gotta say, fighting a naked man.
Yeah.
Spending an entire day fighting an actual naked man that I had gotten to know and became friends with. That was outrageous. And it was also like 50 degrees that day. So he kept running inside to like warm up, if you know what I mean.
I feel like Judy has some continuous outrageous moments. Maybe when I came into BJ's work and caused a scene and tried to fight someone and smash a car.
Yeah.
It's a lot of wire work,
It's
a lot of hanging from the ceiling. At the end of the day, I kind of wish we would have just been on real jetpacks, right? It probably would have been faster. We might not have. We might not be here to talk about it, but
so much faster.
It was. It's like another one of those things where I never think about how we have to do this stuff. I'll just write stuff in, and then I'll be like, oh, I got to go to a rehearsal for what? For wire work for the jetpacks. It's like, oh yeah, I wrote that. I got to do that. It was a lot of fun.
For days.
Yeah, and it was days and days of work, but it was a lot of fun. It was wild. It was nuts.
All those church scenes are insane. The amount of dancers we have and musicians, and then like it's such a beautiful spectacle. Well, it's interesting. Edie is like my sister. Like, we are full. She's my child's godmother. Like, this is my real, like, my partner in life. It's real raw.
I'll let Ben know.
Thank you. But what's interesting is she's so good. There was one there was one scene where Judy and Amber were like kind of fiery with each other. Mostly Judy being fiery towards Amber. And at the end of the scene, when they yelled cut, I looked at Edie and I went, "Are you mad at me?" Like, she was so good. She's like, of course I'm not mad. You know, it's just so fun. I think we also both challenge this idea that women are supposed to hate each other on shows. That's kind of the thing. Like, chicks are mad at each other. And we both were kind of like, let's find the moments where, like, it is annoying, but also the moments where they can be there for each other. And I thought this season with the monkey, it was really kind of a cool opportunity to show up and help out and, you know.
Part of the writing of this show is like being flexible. You know, even when we write a season, you know, we have our idea for that season, what goes on, and then as you start filming stuff, you see things that like hit harder than what you read on the page, and you make adjustments and you change things. That's part of what's kind of fun about shooting television. So I definitely feel like there's no way I could have imagined totally where this was going from where we started. But the themes that it wraps up by the end, I feel like that always was where I wanted to get it. You know, like this family dealing with the grief and the loss, and even just the siblings sort of being challenged in the end to sort of like, do they have the goods to like step up in the moment when there are no jetpacks or monster trucks or, you know, lights and smoke machines? Like, do they have at the core like what it takes? And I always kind of imagine that would be sort of like their final moment. it was honestly awesome. It's like how we started the shoot this season, and it was like we shot a 10-day Civil War movie. It felt like an entirely different show, and it was a blast. I mean, it was so fun to be able to work with him. It was fun to push the limits of our production and entrust all of our department heads to try to pull. Everyone's there to make a contemporary megachurch comedy, and they're showing up, and we're getting them to source Civil War outfits and build bases and and find horses and so it was fun to challenge everyone involved to pull it off, and we had an absolute blast doing it. There's definitely some musical numbers this season. There's definitely some razzmatazz, for sure.
Some of them are very well rehearsed, and some of them are pretty improvised in the moment.
Are made up in the moment.
And some of them are in front of a church, and some of them just a small group of family members. Friends and family. They're all good though.
Both of them were just absolutely incredible this season. Sean, I loved working with him. I'd always been a fan of his, and to have him come in here and even to flex muscles that I don't think people have seen from him before, I felt like it was awesome. It was a get. And Megan had such a difficult role to step into. She's ultimately sort of like replacing a character that we spent 3 seasons, making into just this sort of like perfect person. And for her to come in and be able to go toe-to-toe with these characters, it was no easy feat, and I feel like she nailed it. I would say like Jackie Gleason, Smoking the Bandit era. That's who I think he would fit marvelously in The Righteous Gemstones.
Marvelously.
He would be a great rival minister, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, Jackie Gleason.
Jackie Gleason. Sure. I'm going with it. I can't. I'm going with Jackie Gleason.
You're living the dream, Keith. I'm the happiest I've ever been. There's my man.
So, essentially at the end of season 3, we do a little kissy, and then season 4 starts. We are out. We are loud and proud about it. We run a little sect of the church that is called Prism, that we're all inclusive, and everybody from all walks of life are welcome.
That crew of people, man, they were so excited to be there and be a part of that.
Yeah, it was cool.
It was really cool, man. The cheers, everyone was so like genuinely like, we love you guys. This means so much to us.
Until like day 3, and then they're like, all right.
They're only giving us Ritz crackers.
Yeah, we're starving.
We need more.
I have to go to the
bathroom. They're out of chocolate
so
milk.
Bad. Yeah, so then we are running this, and then my character goes from being like the 3rd sibling who's sort of on the back burner to now I'm the star of the church, and I'm up for this huge award, top Christ following man. And then so that's sort of where we're at. And old Keith Dog here is he's now my right hand man, attached at the hip.
Yeah, and there's no more God Squad, there's no more Smut Busters or youth ministry. It's just us, which is, I think, such a cool evolution for Keith, and also discovery, like what is my role now as like his partner, and how can I best lift him up? And obviously Keith fits.
And we have a real relation. We're not scissoring, but we have a real relationship.
We could.
A real relationship. Yeah. We have a real relationship, and I'm still sort of like, yes, we're out, and I'm proud to be out, but also 1 foot in, 1 foot out. I don't want to wave the flag too high, because I want everyone to feel involved. And then through the season, I sort of realized that if you're going to do something, you should do it all the way. It changes.
It does. Tim Baltz hits my funny bone, especially, and we've been buds for a long time, but he's very like sneaky, will do something that I'll just be like, so understated.
Some people, he plays BJ on the show. I feel like some people need a lot of wind up to get going. Like they need a little verbal salad to get it cranking. But Tim can just say like 2 words, and it'll be the funniest 2 words. Maybe Tim. We'll give it to him. He's the worst, dude. He'll ruin great takes that you've done. You're like, I'm crushing.
Yeah.
And then he's like,
only on the Adams coverage.
Only on my coverage, dude. I would have been. I'm so much more talented than,
Yeah,
than
if I
is
had-
shown,
yeah.
but he will bury a good take.
Yeah.
It's almost like he's trying to backstab you. He sees how good you're doing, and then he wants to take you down a peg. No, he's pretty bad. Danny's also really bad. Danny will like on purpose fuck you up because I think he's trying to keep a light set. But it'll be your coverage, and then you're just acting, and he'll just go, "You," and you're like, "What, dude?" We're all less fat, so that's kind of tight. Yeah, we all tightened up a little bit.
guys look good.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, real
No, I think we're all like pretty. I mean, we're disgusting people. This season 1,
But less disgusting now.
Yeah, and now we're much less disgusting. And you almost you like at first you're like, how are we gonna root for these people? Like it's hard. And my character is maybe the most sympathetic, but still, how he's a spoiled brat, you know. And then I think throughout the seasons you grow to Danny's so good at finding these little things to make you as an audience member root for that character, and we're able to thread that from season to season, and by the end you're rooting for all these characters and you weirdly love them even though they're truly shitty, horrible people. Well, I mean, they're all so insane. I won't call any my favorite because every day I would go into my trailer and be like, oh, what the f*** is this? What is this?
Yeah, I mean, Christina's genius, our costume designer, and like I had several this season that I was like, never in my life, but also this is brilliant. I mean, I wear a Speedo, a green Speedo, that has the star of Satan on the crotch. She found this. It's not like they made it. They found some maker that did it. And then I'm in a tank top that doesn't even look like it's connected because it has fish. It has fishing
Oh,
line
that's right. I remember
from here
that
to
one.
here.
Yeah.
So it looks like it's
That was so stupid.
it's so dumb. And then I have like a very kind of weird David Bowie-esque look this season, which I kind of love because it was kind of like very flowy,
You're so
very
lucky.
evolved.
You love flowy.
Yeah.
When you're talking your wardrobe, you love flowy.
Yeah, dude, I just love the
What's up?
flow.
What's up with these pants? Those don't look very flowy to me.
Nah,
Get
dude,
a
I
close
like-
up on the
Hold on, dude. Let
on
me
how
look at that.
absolutely
That's why I
aggressively
wear
tight.
these pants, dude.
Nice, dude. My wardrobe was so gross because also like even if I'm wearing a trash bag, it's like a $1,500 trash bag. It's disgusting.
Yeah.
And maybe that's why we're only doing 4 seasons.
Tell him about the watch, dude.
Oh yeah, I wore this
Jacob.
Yeah, Jacob and Company, $250 million, $250,000 watch that they loaned to us and we got to wear. And it was great. I was just like allowed to wear this. I'm like, man, I don't want to be responsible for it. And Tim, our props guy, was so funny. He's like, it's all good. It's insured. You could break it. It's no big deal. And I'm like, all right, I'll ride with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I literally had to go down to Florida and drag his long-haired ass back here.
Ew, is that a woman's bra?
I mean, BJ, starting with a mustache, sexier than ever, in the best shape of his life.
Seconded. I think Judy is kind of breathing her own fumes a little bit, kind of feeling herself and doing well in the church. And I think everything sort of comes tumbling down. No pun intended, or full pun intended. I really like arguing with Jesse. I think it's really fun to argue with Jesse because I always know like he is going to come for me and I'm going to have to think fast. I actually really love arguing with Amber too. I love like really trying to nail her.
Yeah. Season 1 had some great moments between you two. Hours of stretching every day. I was on creatine for months. I legit got trained by like the president of the U.S. Aerial Federation, and I'm still in physical therapy. I grew up playing sports year round. It's the hardest thing I've ever had to do.
It requires an inordinate amount of strength. I went to 2, maybe 3 lessons. I cannot believe how strong you have to be to do it. It looks so easy and so graceful and so beautiful. I felt like some sort of animal that was all angles when I tried to do it. Like, just a hulking, like, ah, 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 ah. Yeah, just is gnarly. Really cute.
Yeah.
That was the biggest problem, I thought, because I just wanted to go, like, let me pet it, let me hold it, let me feed it. Can it sit on my lap? And you kind of can't interact with it at all in between takes and stuff because the trainer has to be its main person who they know is going to feed it, tell it what to do.
Yeah.
And so you kind of can't even go talk to it. Mostly you're trying to get them to do whatever insane thing that we decided for them to do, including jacking off. But I think they would, the producers would tell the monkey trainer, like, hey, we're going to need this monkey to jack off. Is that a possible thing? And then they would go train the monkey to make whatever motion with its arm for a couple weeks. And then when they got back, they'd go, how's this look for the monkey jacking off?
The monkey wasn't actually jacking off.
No, the monkey had no
It looked
outward
like it was jacking
appendages.
off. So it's like if I do this, I'm not actually jacking off.
Right.
But it looks like I'm jacking off.
It sure does. Dude, Tim makes me die.
Yeah, 100%. Edie.
And I'll think like, oh yeah, nothing in this scene would make me break. And then he'll just say something with like a little head tilt or like a little bit of a pursed lip or something. And I'm like, oh no, oh no, oh no. But yeah, it's not a ton. It's not a ton that I break, but yeah. And then I've had late night stuff with Danny and Adam where my face is wet from crying because we're all kind of improvising and it's just, yeah, trying to be serious. I think that's the main thing is we know if we come at it from absolute seriousness, saying these ridiculous things. So every now and then Tim saying something really ridiculous in a very serious, dramatic way would shatter me.
Yeah. And Walton too. Because Walton will he'll get his baby Billy whistle through his teeth sometimes, or he'll put like a nya on something. And
get over here.
Yeah, get over here. All right, nya. And that at the end of a long day, you're like, he'll throw it. He won't do it every time, and he'll lean into it. Oh my